Congress, sisters, brothers, I'm proud to be standing in front of you today. Some of the things that I'm going to share with you, please don't cry. If you feel like crying, you can cry, but don't
That's
cry.
me, then.
Yeah. My name is Patricia, and I would like to thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to stand in front of you and share my little story with you. I was born in 1971 in a little place called Salisbury. Not here, down south. It was Salisbury in Rhodesia, then called Rhodesia. It's now called Zimbabwe. I was born to a farmer, and my mom was a primary school teacher. A family of about 10 of us, boys and girls. In my country, a man was allowed, or is allowed, to have as many wives as he likes. And my father was one of those men. We had about 3 wives. But all the same, we lived and shared one big house. We used to grow our own food. We had an orchard where we could go and get some bananas, some oranges, apples, all types of fruits, you name it. We had cows where you could go and get some milk, fresh milk, every single day in the morning. But there was one lost opportunity. The way I, as a girl, was treated was so different from the way my brothers were treated. At the age of 16, I was like a housewife. I would look after my siblings, going to do pieceworks out there, doing some doings, crocheting things that my mom would go and sell in other countries like South Africa, and you bring some more money in the house. I wasn't given an opportunity to go to university simply because I was a girl. So I had to fight to save money so that I would go to college to do teaching. And guess what? With the help of my mom, that happened. So I went to college. I did primary care teaching, following my mother's footsteps. Not because I wanted to be a teacher, but because I could see her. She inspired me. And I said, I want to be like my mother. I just want to be a doormat. I don't want to be a woman who just give birth, because that's what we expect. Get married at 13, have many children. At 13 years old. A 13-year-old has got no breast. Some of them in Africa, they are not even near menstrual period, but you will be forced to probably get married at that age. They expect you to be a wife, a mother. This is where I'm coming from. I went to college. I did my 3 years of primary teaching, but I never got the chance to teach because I wasn't given the privilege. Even in schools, all they wanted male teachers. If you're a girl with no experience of teaching anything out there, you will not get a place in a school. So I joined Association of Women's Clubs. It was a club with more than 60,000 women, affiliate members, where I would go to rural areas and teach them adult literacy, so that I would just gain a little experience, so that I'll find a place to teach. But that never happened. All I did was going around the rural areas teaching women, and some of the women were not even allowed to attend the adult literacy classes. At one time, a husband followed a wife and beat her in front of us simply because she came to attend adult literacy classes. So I had to devise a way of going to the man before I reached the woman to ask for permission if I could teach their women adult literacy. The woman was being taught because she is the mother of the house and she's the one who would do some little bits and pieces of piecework out there, communicating with different people to bring some money in the house. But you'd find some men, they didn't want that. They thought that if a woman is being taught, she'll be too clever. Then she'll probably end up leaving this dumb man and get somebody else. That's where I'm coming from. So in 1999, I was still doing all the going around the villages, teaching women. A new party was formed, an opposition party, because now the political situation was deteriorating. If you've ever heard about Robert Mugabe, he started to show his signs of evilness. So this opposition party was formed. We were going to attend the meetings like in the middle of the night. That was the biggest mistake of my life. But at the end of the day, I think it was the biggest achievement joining this opposition party. We went through hell. Whenever we go to attend these meetings, we'll be followed by secret services, by the police. Why are you attending these meetings? We'd explain to them that the country is deteriorating, the education system is deteriorating. We are not having clean water. We'd go for a week without clean water. We'd go for months without electricity, but you still pay for those services. And the only way you could break this was to go and form another opposition party to fight with Mugabe because he was on his own. So he could do anything without being asked by anybody. So this opposition party became a threat to him and his friend. So all he was doing was intimidating every single person who was attending this opposition to the point of being beaten up. I remember in 2002, I was pregnant. I was 4 months pregnant. And the police visited us in the middle of the night. They knew I was pregnant because as a big person, when you're pregnant, everybody can clearly see that this woman is pregnant. And they were asking questions about my ex-husband. You want to know where your ex-husband is. I told them that he's out, he'll come later. But they started pushing me around, beating me. I can't show you my back. So this went on and on the whole night. And my ex-husband did not come home that night. He decided to go and stay with his family, with his brothers and sisters, leaving me with my 2 other kids at home. The communication system during that time was very difficult because we didn't have like mobile phones, most of us. You just use a landline to communicate with whoever, the family. The next thing, 2 days later, I didn't come home. I received an email to say he's gone to the United States. Right. Now the story started to begin from there. I'm left now, I'm pregnant, got 2 children. I haven't got a proper job. What do I do here? Who is going to look after my children? The Secret Service are just on my back. Now I was now on my own. Because if you've got a partner that you are doing your bad things with, like going to these meetings, I was with him. all the time. So now I was on my own. There was no security, there was nothing. It was only me and the kids. So, a week later, my auntie, she lives in Malawi. So she just told me, said, can you come and visit? If he has gone to America, wait, he will come back. He never came back until today. He stayed in America because they wanted him back home. And now I suffered more because they wanted him. So I had to run away from home, mainly because of him, because he had a bigger post. Me, I was a follower. He had a bigger post in the opposition than the one I had. So I left home and I came to this country just to visit, because my sisters and my brothers, they live here. So I came to visit for a short period of time, thinking that the things will ease, and then I'll go back and carry on with whatever I was going to do back home. I came here, I stayed in Hansel with my sister. We stayed there for about 4 weeks. Then we were going to the embassy, Zimbabwean embassy. People were demonstrating there every Saturday, the 2 of them, against the Robert Mugabe. So unfortunately, I went there twice. I was just following others to see what was going on. I was very new here. Then, little did I know that at the embassy, there are secret services there. We are being watched 24/7. So by the time I returned back home at the airport, they just showed me a picture. Strand, London. They called me in a room and they said, is this you? Then I said, these are CID, the most scary people in my country. They're actually worse than MI5 because they will make you disappear. So I said, no, I was just following other people. They said, you left here. We're looking for your husband. Couldn't find him. And you left here. Then you are trying to destroy the country by demonstrating. I said, how can I try to destroy this country by just demonstrating? I'm demonstrating because I'm not happy. We've got no water. The educational system is going down. So what do you want us to do? You need to go and stay in your house and behave like a woman. So I said, how do women behave? Just go in your house and stay quietly. No demonstrations. You don't go into town. You don't go where there is a crowd of more than 5. Me, I like crowds. I like being in a crowd. If there's a party, I want to go to party. I stayed in the house. I was waiting for their orders. My dad kept on just reassuring me. He said, you've got to follow these people's orders and disappear. But it went on and I couldn't take it anymore. So I found my sister here and I said, no, I think I want to come back there. So I came here. When I came here, I was hoping I would go back home within probably 2 months or 3 months. I didn't realize 15, 16 years down the line, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for my country to be free. But it looks like it's a long way to go. I came here and I started working. I didn't look for teaching. I didn't look for a prestigious job. I just wanted something. Just a little bit of a job to keep myself busy and to feed my kids. My kids were still in Malawi. They were not in my house, in my home. They were in another country for safety. So all I wanted was to find a little job where I could send them £5 Not 5 million pounds, just £5 for them to go to school. Not a boarding school, not a private school, just a school. The things that we're missing in Zimbabwe. So I worked in a care home, in my first care experience. It was amazing. I went to Harley Road, I got this job in a nursing home. And the matron came, Patricia, oh, my name is Patricia as well, I'm the matron here. Have you done care work before? Then I said, oh yes, I've done care work. Yes. She said, so what do you know about care work? Then I said, I've had children. I've looked after my grandparents. I've had children. That's care work. That's where care begins. So straight away she gave me the job. And I was so unfortunate. I don't know whether it was my lucky day or my unfortunate day. She asked me to go and look after the lady, Betty, upstairs. So she showed me. Then she said she was going to be working with me. The lady was very poorly. She was actually at the end of her life. So I was popping up and down after every hour, going up and down, going up and down, just to check on her. So I think it was 4:30. I went up, walked in. Hello, Betty. You know, you are scared. I've never done this job before. I've never looked after a white person. Come on. I'm coming from Africa. So I was going, you know. And check on Betty. But when I went in this time at 4:30, Betty, I thought she had passed away. Because I'd never met somebody who passed away in real life, actually. That was my first time. The way I ran from that, honest to God, I ran away from Betty. I was so scared. Then I went and I said, come, matron. Matron came. Then she said, oh, bless. Then she did a little prayer. She's Catholic just like me. She did a little prayer, covered Betty. Then she said, oh, later on we need to go and wash it. Then I said, no ways. I'm not washing nobody. I'm not washing dead people. No, matron, I am not washing a dead person. I've never done it before. But you said you've done care work. This is part of the care work. But I'll walk with you, I'll be with you. So we went on, put our aprons, gloves, everything. Then I washed her. She gave me a towel to wipe the lady. That was my first best experience of being in care. And I stayed in care until today. At first, I stayed for the little money. Then I got hooked, like people who are cursed. But that curse became love, became deep care. I've started an experience that I've never done. All those pains that I've been with in my country, away from my family, when I started caring, and when I started that day changed my life. Then later on, I joined GMB. I'm still waiting to go back home. Listen, I'm waiting to go back home. You listen to me? I'm not stopping here. No, I'm going back to my home when my country is free. That was in 2003. I'm still here. So I joined GMB. I joined GMB because I was following others. At home I was in the union. Here I came and I joined GMB because I felt comfortable. I was supported when I was working. I worked for the Fosano Council for about 7-8 years. They supported me through my work. I went on to join private. I was supported by GMB. And this actually is the first time I'm standing in front of you, my sisters, sharing my little story. Later on in 2007-8, they gave me a humanitarian. It's part of the refugee status. Now the links were because my sister got married to Morgan Tsvangirai, you know, the opposition prime minister. And that was now a worse threat in my family. So when I'm standing here, and I'm thinking all these other refugee cases out there, sometimes I feel sad that when you are given a little opportunity in your life, you take the mickey out of people who are trying to better your life. I feel sad when they are using the word refugee. Sometimes I get ashamed when I hear some stories of what some who are calling themselves refugees behave. It's not easy. It's not funny. It's not easy to stand with your one leg in and one leg out, not knowing where your life is going, not knowing where the life of your children is headed to. I've lost families, I've lost brothers, I've lost cousins, I've lost my nannies. I've lost a lot of people in my country, my family, but I cannot even go and share the pain. Then you find somebody taking the mic. It's not fair. And I wish, I'm not being biblical or I'm not being a Christian, I'm just being a person. I'm being a human being. I wish people could just come together as one. And we share the problems that we have, economy problems, not the problem of black, white, red, religion. What examples are we giving to our children if we cannot come together as one? I'm standing here as a person. I'm standing here with you, my sisters. I don't feel ashamed to be here. Because I know you comforted me, you accepted me, not because I'm a black, big girl, no. You accepted me as Patricia, and I wish and I hope people could just accept each other as that. And all those who are killing people out there, they can just stop that and focus on one thing. Love one another. That man upstairs, that's what he said, love one another. I came here, I got these little jobs. I work, I have never had a day where I would go and queue on the door. Even if I'm sick, I'll go and work and get the little pay that I get. And do my duty and serve my community. I am serving the community right now standing here. Because I love my community. I've been accepted with this community, so I have to love back the community that has accepted me the way I am. None of you knew me and my little story. Bless these ladies. They accepted me as Patricia. Not that they knew the little things that I've gone through in my life. So I wish and I hope, my sisters, We love one another as one. That's the only main important. I don't have time to share everything with you, but I'm proud to be in this country. I'm proud to be in the GMP. And I'm proud of the achievements that I haven't told you the last story of my story. On the 19th of September, I'll be graduating with a first-class degree. That opportunity that I wasn't given, I got it here. And guess what? Tough Mugabe. That opportunity I was given here, the degree that I'm going to get, I will use it here. It's his loss. And lastly, I've quoted this. I think some of you must have it. You've heard this before. They say, I think women are foolish to pretend that they're equal to men. This is a British novelist who wrote this. It's not me. We are far too superior to men. Are there any men here? Sorry, brother, I'm sorry. I'm not a British novelist. I'm just quoting what was written. Whatever you give a woman, she'll make it greater. If you give a woman a sperm, she'll make that sperm into a child, into a baby. If you give a woman a grocery, she'll make a meal out of that grocery. But if you give a woman crap, she'll make S-H-I-T. That day you will have a blast. It will be a different day. Thank you so much.
Are there any questions for Patricia?
Is your children with you now?
Oh, bless. I've got 3 wonderful children. I've got them now. They're all working hard. They've joined the union. That's the most important thing. Because that's where you learn manners. That's where you learn to be with others. That's where you learn about equality. Thank you.
Okay. As we've seen with Brexit, as we've come out, a rise in people being disgraceful and hate to people from other countries. How was you accepted by British people when you first come over? Did you accept it? Did you have to fight us as well? Or?
It was, the system sometimes. You have to be patient and not to force matters. You have to wait for your time. I had to wait for probably 7 years to get a status here. I didn't bother anybody. I didn't go to the home office, or I didn't fight with nobody, because I knew that one day I'll get a status here. Brexit has just brought a little bit of pain again, because it takes you back to where you're running away from. But deep down in my heart, I'm positive. Because if you are on your own, that's where you feel lonely. But when you are among others, all the Brexit will be a Brexit of talking together. You know that it's not all the people people probably here have voted to remain. So we are sharing the same sentiment here. It's not all people who have voted actually Brexit who don't like people here. They've got their own reasons because it's a free country where you choose where to put an X, whereas where we come from, even if I put an X here, they'll go and rig. Even if you don't vote Mugabe, still Mugabe will be the winner. Unlike here where there is kind of justice and fairness. So Brexit, bring it on, because Pat is not going to exit yet, although my leg is out there waiting.
Thank you. Join me conference and thanking Patricia for such a wonderful, heartwarming story that brought a tear to many of our eyes. You shared that with us and we appreciate that. We love you and we care for you, so thank you so much for that.